like it's shown to you, it's proved to you. God
Yeah.
says, I'm gonna show you. Hold on, I'm gonna blow your mind right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And he does every time.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I could have never ever done that by myself.
Pastor Scott back here with another interview with one of our awesome members, Evelyn. And we're excited for all that God is doing in everybody's life. But man, God has been doing some great things in your life.
So good.
All the time, right?
All the time.
I know you like that part.
Yeah.
So we just want to share a little bit of your story and some of the things that God has helped you with in your life, and just encourage people that are watching. You know, we never know who tunes into these things, and our hope and our joy is that somebody would find this interview and it would encourage them and be like, hey, you know what, man, I got a lot in common with that young lady. I got a lot in common, and if God can do it for them, guess what? He can do it for you. So. All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your name? Where you from? All that good stuff.
My name's Evelyn Garcia. I grew up in Washington State, but I've always had my heart in California, always. So I say I'm a Cali girl, even though I'm from Washington. And weather, of course, is a lot better here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel so cold anymore.
The Seattle weather.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Fun for a few days.
Yeah. And here it feels like when it rains, then the green comes out, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. I have a 7-year-old son named Andy. He is absolutely my heart and other people's heart. And let's see here, what else? I just started living for God almost 3 years now. So still a baby.
Yeah, You're in like the toddler phase.
Yeah, exactly. I've
Yeah.
learned how to really like walk sturdy now, and still get, kind of off balance a little bit, but God He holds my hand and gets me going again.
I remember one guy one time, he would always say, I'm still a baby Christian. I'm like, hey, you're going to have to graduate from being able to say that all the time. You're a toddler Christian, and, yeah, so you're in the toddler phase,
Toddler phase, yeah. And it's great being surrounded around people that, as a toddler, you need people to help, like, watch you, make sure you don't bump into those sharp edges. And, and I feel like my Coast family and my family at home do that for me.
Yeah. So how did you get here anyway? Like, how did you start coming?
Well, my mom.
I know the story, but.
So I had a friend. I had just started getting to know her at my son's preschool, and my mom. She had invited us, and she had invited my mom. And my mom said, well, this is a new church. Evelyn, you go. So I was the guinea pig. Just you go.
Test out the waters.
And so I was like, okay, well, I've always wanted to, I've always known that there was a God, but never had a relationship with God.
Yeah.
Especially not the way that I do now.
So growing up, you never really went to church or anything like that?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
It was... We came from 2 different backgrounds, my parents, and they had 2 different types of beliefs, and so it was just kind of, when you get older, you figure it out, but like we didn't have anywhere to go to figure it out. So I always was on a hunt for God, but just didn't find Him. So I tried putting other things in place of God.
Sure.
So I ended up going to Coast, and it was one of those days that it was just quiet. People were. I think it was like a vacation kind of time or something like that.
I remember that. There was nobody there.
There was nobody there. Yeah.
And when you're planning a church, there's a lot of those weekends where you're like, what in the world? Where is everybody at? You can have a full house one Sunday, and then the next Sunday, what in the world? You know? And it was one of those Sundays, and I was like, oh great, we got visitors. But I learned very quickly, like, you know what? God knows what He's doing, because you were like, you felt God's presence, even with a lot of people out that weekend. And,
I think sometimes, like, God just knows what you need. Sometimes you need a whole lot of people to be there. I think God knew that I needed just like to be alone with Him. In the presence of, in His house, with minimal people there. Who knows if I would have gone in if there were to be a whole bunch of people there. So God knew what I needed, and I remember that day. I've never ever felt God like that before. ever. I mean, just tears coming down my eyes. I don't even remember what you preached on.
I don't remember either.
It hit me so hard. It hit me so hard, and I had no idea what was going on, like what my emotions were. And Cheryl explained it to me and told me, like, you know, when you end up crying, when you end up feeling that overwhelmingness of his love, not of fear, not of like worry, not of you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people cry because they're sad. Like
Sure.
this was not a sad kind of cry for me.
Right.
And that's when I knew, like, I found God.
Yeah.
You know, that he's pulling me, he's reaching for me. And he had pulled and reached for me before, but I didn't listen. And so now he got me alone, and I was able to listen.
That's awesome.
And it just from that experience, I was like, no, I want more. I can't.
Yeah.
I need more. Like I have to go in all the way. And I've always been that person. Like it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
You know. And
so you brought your mom and dad back after that?
I sure did. I was like, you guys have to come back.
Yeah,
you guys
they
have
came.
to, or you have to go.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know. And when they
Yeah.
found out, you know, the church was based on the Word, following the Word. You know, Acts 2:38, and my mom, she's like, I was raised on this. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So now I have somebody
Mom
to
was
go
holding
to.
the secrets on
She
you.
was. I was like, what? I mean, it just went off from there.
Yeah. I'll never forget your mom and dad coming the first time, and Evelyn's dad is one of our Navy veterans at our church, and we honor his service. Tremendous man, and unfortunately now he's in a wheelchair, and I just remember him coming and, you know, have our family, my wife and I, having a son with special needs, we're probably overly sensitive to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, you know what, I'm going to, not only, okay, I see this guy's a Navy vet. I think he had his hat that day. I'm like, not only is he a Navy veteran, but he also has some special needs. I'm literally, like, I will carry him into church, like,
yes.
whatever we got to do. You know, we
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure that we could serve them well. And, So tell us, like, you know, I mean, what did God start doing in your life? And I think you want to share a few things maybe in particular, but what did God start, like, just the real things that, like, practical things that God actually started doing in your life